yam, because my back is so terrible.
You're like across the room, and I'm like,
the light gray one.
Flinching, because I'm like, God, they're beating him.
Got the podcast intro done. Gonna edit that later.
Nice.
Episode 3. So, Mark Through Podcast. If y'all have not checked it out, make sure you do. Starring us, surprise. Talking about cheerleading, surprise. And we also have some friends on, and we're not just talking about coaching, talking about cheerleading in general, news, updates, pop culture, things like that. So, if you're a podcaster or you want to get into podcasting, check us out. Mark Through Podcast. We'll make sure to link it below. Yeah, we're neck deep in the first week of September right now.
Yes.
Drowning in September.
I know. We probably have like bags under our eyes of just like the chaos of September. It's
but we're not here to talk about September. We're here to talk about August.
Oh my gosh. So kind of the very getting back from having a month off, grinding out fundamentals.
Was this before we had to swap the groups?
Yep.
And when we made the change with the groups. So some of these groups now have changed just because the balance of some of the positions. So just we were watching 2 groups struggle, and it was like, why are we watching 2 groups struggle when we could maybe make some changes and see if there's a better timing, a better pairing. But now the groups feel more balanced in skill.
Balance, that's the word.
And experience. That's something that we always try to like line up when we can.
Well, kind of with what you're saying, I do think performance is a skill in itself. And I had this conversation with a couple of our girls on Saturday, because performing is a completely different skill.
Yeah.
Apart from throwing skills. Like, are you a practice kid or a performance kid? Hopefully you're both.
Well, and then you're just saying doing both, but I mean, if you break it down, you have doing the skill, which is like the athleticism.
Right.
But then you have the performing of the skill, which is A, doing it in front of a crowd. B, cheerleading isn't just a skill demonstration and you walk off the mat. It's,
right.
Do you have a presence? Are you involving the crowd with your body language?
Oh, yeah.
And with, how you're emoting through the stunts when you're a base or a back spot, like how you walk to it.
Yeah.
And how you perform.
Your confidence on the mat.
Your confidence, absolutely. It's twofold in that regard. It's like, are you able to do your skill over and over and over to be perfect so that a crowd doesn't matter? And then can you still turn it on? That's something we say all the time is, we need you guys to turn it on. It's a dead room, but you have to practice turning that on yet.
We're not even there yet. It's gonna hit us like a freight train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like a freight train that you like grab onto as you get hit.
Yeah.
And then some picks from their bingo night.
A little team bonding.
Team bonding, yeah. We let them go have a little fun. And that was the night before school started.
Yeah. So a little back to school team bonding. It is so good to take a big group of teenage girls out of a tense gym where everybody's fighting for a spot, everybody's fighting for their place.
And so much of why we coach is just we want these kids to have good experiences. Whoever's on our team, we're just about them having great experiences because we had great experiences in cheerleading. And so it's like when they're done, when they think back to high school sports, high school cheerleading, I don't want them to think of like how intense it was to compete against one of their like good friends for a mat spot. But that's where it comes down to us, like you said, pulling them out.
Yeah.
Be friends with each other.
Be kind.
Okay.
Back to school.
First week of school. Ooh, yeah.
So that first day, they have all the freshmen come for a freshman orientation.
Yeah, it's nice to get out there and put our kids in front of these new students. It's just a welcoming face.
I think it's cool. I do think a lot of the freshmen come in and they're like, ugh. But that's okay.
Thinking back to my first day of high school, I was one of those kids that was like, oh my God, don't talk to me.
Right.
Blah, blah.
Sure.
But I'm sure you were just head over heels to be back for freshman year. Just like, woo!
my highlighters. I had my like organizer in my backpack. I had new binders that had like cats on the front.
We had such a different high school experience. Especially in those early years of high school.
I got to wear my cheer uniform on the first day of school. So
I definitely
so cool.
came into my own as high school went along.
I was ready.
You were ready.
So the second assembly is with the entire school. So the freshmen had that first day where they came and I got to shake the palms and say hi. And then the second day is everybody's first full day of school. Again, being asked though, do they want to perform? And I'm like, define perform, because our purpose for this is to raise school spirit. And so we don't need to go out there and do like the first minute of our competition performance. That's not appropriate for this. Like, let's teach the whole student body.
Hey freshmen, you want to see a double up? It's sick.
Yeah, like what's the point?
Sick.
And they don't know the difference between an extension and a double up, so who cares?
Yeah, we could do an extension and call it a double up, and they'd be like, yeah, there were two people under that. That's a double up.
Makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Indoor Olympics. So Indoor Olympics is a tradition at my high school that the entire school looks forward to every year. So we said, let's bring all the sports together. Let's have a fall sports kickoff, but let's also make it a fundraiser for cheer. So we did a pancake feed, which was brilliant. That was Scott's idea. I just want it to be another good memory for the kids.
Yeah. They were dressing up, our girls put on their, they're all blacks with headbands and blackout paint, and then the boys soccer was wearing crop tops and softball made shirts. So
it was awesome.
It was awesome. And so then as we were staging the games,
in the
main gym, we sent all the athletes into the auxiliary gym, and I go in there and it's just this mass of yelling. And so it's, they're just going, it's like football's on one side with some of the other guys' sports, and like cheer and palms. I'm just ecstatic. That's what we wanted.
Yeah.
That's what, with the camaraderie we were saying. So I'm like, I go to tell Lauren.
They were pumped to do the Olympic Games.
So I go and I tell Lauren about it, and then I come back. It turned into this horrifying gang up of all the sports yelling at football, "What's your record?" And I had to walk through the crowd. I've Murph on me in a baby carrier, and I just have to walk through, and I was like,
No.
Y'all, this is not the point. And the boys were like, we want that smoke. We want that smoke. And I was like, I love your fire. I love it. But we're not doing this. Y'all need to just pump each other up.
It got county crazy. I sent my dad that video of just like the beginning where they were in the aux gym and you and I were setting up the other gym, and he was like, that's what it's all about. And it was just pretty cool, because he's right, that is what it's all about. So after they did the opening ceremony and the games were off.
Yep, the games began. So we had the stations around the gym, a couple teams at each station, just to mix it up. And it was head to head in the moment, but it was a points-based thing. So we had scorekeepers throughout, and they're tallying the points. So every game, what do we do? 3 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we did 3 minutes for each game, and
just watching it, and everybody's smiling, and it's just making me smile. I know our athletic director thought I was crazy when I said we need to do this, but I'm so glad that he listened to us. And
he takes some risks on us, but
we're out there. We're wild.
So after we did the games, all 6 rotations, kind of settled everybody in, totaled up the scores, and then told our athletic director,
you get to do the announcement.
Yeah, so he came out there with the trophy.
The first ever Indoor Olympics County Cup.
Yes, the County Cup.
Softball won.
Softball took home the County Cup.
I loved their reaction when they won. I loved that they were like putting the cup above their head. It was great.
But here's the end result. We said everybody group up, group picture, and
look at that.
They just all dove right in, and I can't imagine if we said the same at the beginning of the night. if
No.
they would have dove in like that.
No, they were chanting against each other in the ox gym. Like, absolutely not.
True.
As fast as possible. Oh, look at there.
Let's try it.
Back to the grind, as well as working our routine. Almost every practice, or working the skills and kind of conditioning for the routine. In the lead up to football, we like to do game day practices on Fridays, kind of getting their mind right for football games. It just helps to put them on the track.
Yeah.
So this is where you're gonna do your cheers.
Yeah, this
Let's
is where
see
you'll
'em.
stand. This is where you'll run the flags. And putting the importance that games are just as important as competition. We went through all the cheers a lot, and I could tell some of the girls were just nervous because I was like, if you shut up to practice today and you don't know your cheers, you're not cheering the first game.
Do it again. Let's go. Lauren, I'm sorry. First and 10. Do it again. Let's go. Husky. First and
So here's after we've made the switch with your groups.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just proof right here. They're more successful in
Yeah.
the execution of the skills.
We
Like,
just had to make some changes to make it more balanced.
and then this was at the end of the month when we're kind of like finally getting into the groove. We were past that first week of school.
Which is the worst.
They're so unfocused that first week.
They're mentally exhausted. It's cool to see how from the beginning of August to the end of August, there really was progress. I'm excited to see when we do September what that progress looks like.
How's that baby? She's still asleep?
She's still asleep.
Yeah, that's good. That was August.
Get ready for September.
We have we have the rest of the week, 2 games, a parade,
An assembly.
2 practices, and an assembly. So
Yeah, we have a lot going on. We're not the only ones. Everybody's going through it right now.
Yeah.
Everybody's in the trenches, so
yeah, we're
Godspeed to all of you coaches out there. We're in the trenches. It's terrible. But we love our job. And this is very basic or whatever. For being a team that doesn't compete in game day, I'm proud of how they perform. Like, without the need for game day to make them perform well, you know?
because this is a whole other issue that
We
we
don't have
need
to
to
get
talk
into
about on the podcast.
We don't have to get into it right now.
about game day. But you should be always good at game day. If you are the cheerleading squad for a high school, you should be good at game day. That is your sole purpose to be there. And the competition is an additional part of our activity, of our sport. You have to be able to do both. It's insane that so many teams are not.
Or are only good at one or the other.
Yes.
I agree. We won't get on that soapbox right now.
Don't even get me started on boxes.
You ready for this? Who live is X? Who lit is this? Who real is us? We too legit. We are M-A-R.